into the cool air. Overhead, the last crystals of night faded into a soft blue blanket that would precede the dawn. Through the thick pads of his calloused feet, he could feel the rocky, cracked, cold earth. He would wear his huaraches after he left and was away from the sleeping village. He had not slept for much of the night, had not been sleeping for longer than he could remember, had not slept as he did when he was young. The bones within ached, but he was old, and that was to be expected. He began to work long, bony fingers into the area above his chest, the area that had made him feel old since he first felt the soreness that was there, the area where his satchel would push down as he walked. He thought about tea, but the smoke from the mesquite would betray him, as would the clatter of his old blue percolator, and decided against it. He stepped back inside the shed, looked around once, taking in the cot, patched and sagging, the desk and the stove. He went to the desk and considered its drawers. There was nothing there that should go in his satchel. He would need only his tools. His crowbar, his worn rawhide gloves, his rope, the can of pitch, the tin of grease, and his pliers. Not the book. But if I die, if I go too far, or fall into a hole, if my leg is broken, then I might want the book. He dismissed those thoughts. If you die, then you can't read. If you are dying, then you should try to live. And if it is too much, that is what the gun is for. Besides, you've read the book already, many times in fact. He put the book in its place. He went to the shelf and opened the cigar box that contained the pistol. He loved the box more than the gun inside. The picture of the sea, the city, and the waving palms on the front reminded him of places in the book. Inside the box, the gun, dull and waiting, along with 5 loose shells, an evil number, rattled as his stiff fingers chased them across the bottom. Moving quickly now, he took the old blue percolator and rolled it into the thin blanket that lay on the cot. He stuffed them both inside the worn satchel, reminding him of the book's description of the furled sail, patched with flour sacks. It looked the flag of permanent defeat. He shouldered the bag quickly and chased the line away, telling himself he was thinking too much of the book and not the things he should be. He looked around the shed once more. Come back with something, and if not, then goodbye. He passed silently along the trail that led through the village. To the west, the field of broken glass began to glitter like fallen stars in the hard-packed red dirt, as it always did in this time before the sun. At the pantry, he took cooked beans, tortillas, and a little bit of rice from the night before. The village would not miss these things. Still, they would be angry with him. Angry he had gone, even though they wished he would, because he was unlucky. Salau. In the book, unlucky is Salau. The worst kind. The villagers say you're cursed. He filled his water bottle from the spring, drank a bit, and filled it again. The water was cold and tasted of iron. He drank again and filled it once more. Soon the day would be very hot. At the top of the small rise east of the village, he looked back. 40 years, maybe, if my count has been right. It was an old processing plant by the side of the highway, east of what was once Yuma. It was rusting in the desert before the bombs fell. Now it was the market and pantry of the village. Its outlying sheds, the houses of the villagers, his friends and family. He tried to see if smoke was rising yet from his son's house, but his daughter-in-law would be tired from the new baby, so maybe she is still sleeping. If his granddaughter came running out, seeing him at the top of the rise against the dawn, he would have to send her back. He was going too deep into the wasteland today.